All these NoFap YouTubers, everyone is telling you, quit porn, quit porn, quit porn. It's that easy. Do these 3 steps, get this done. After this, you're going to quit porn, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, you know, if it was that easy just to quit porn, no one would be watching porn. I mean, yes, you still would get the side people and everything that don't know about this stuff, but a lot of people that are struggling and that want to quit would quit. It's that easy. So, yes, there is so much content on quitting porn out there, but yet it's still so difficult to do it. Because these people literally just tell you, quit porn, quit porn, quit porn, get this done, and nothing changes. That's the problem. I've been in this for like 4 or 5 years. I wanted to quit porn for like probably 2 years. It took me 2 years, probably one whole year of trying to get off this thing. And it's because it's an addiction. It's an addiction like every other addiction. What are addictions, Can you just stop? Because you've got this high. Can you just stop an addiction right there? Probably not. Yes, for some people you can. But for a lot, you cannot. People live in this like wonderland where it's like, oh, you're such a pussy, you're still watching porn, you can't even quit. It's genuinely a difficult thing to quit. It's like, it's super addictive. I think it's the most addictive substance in the whole entire world. And it's literally like 5 clicks away. Like, think of it like this, okay? I can take my phone, I can go on Pornhub right now and 5, 6 clicks or something like that, and boom, you've got porn. But if I want cocaine, which is basically the same addiction stuff in your brain, I don't know, ask some dodgy people if there's a dealer, and then it'd probably take me like a month of trying to actually get some cocaine. Plus, I have to spend a lot of money on that. So you see where I'm coming from. It's so easily addictive to everyone out there. And like I said, it's scientifically proven that cocaine and Pornhub are like similar, not like dopamine ways. So it's the same addiction pretty much, just different things. From cocaine, I think you get some sort of high, and from Pornhub you get a dopamine high, you get some released urges, all this kind of stuff. But it's like, you can't just tell an alcoholic to stop drinking, okay? Think of this right now. You probably know someone who's an alcoholic, who drinks a lot. If you told them, stop drinking alcohol, do you think they would stop that day? Even if they wanted to, even if they were trying their best and you just told them, stop drinking alcohol. They probably wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't drink the next day, but then the day after that, they would drink. So it's the same with porn, all right? You have to understand that we've been in this addiction for about more than a couple of years. It's genuinely like hurting us. Like, we've been through this. I was in it for 5 years, okay? I was in addiction for 5 years. So of course it's going to take some time to get out of it. It's not instant. Good things don't happen fast. We all know that. We all know that delayed gratification is better than instant gratification. And when you have delayed gratification, like going to the gym, working out, it takes time to build the muscles and everything. But once you build those and you see your progress, you feel far better than just sitting home watching porn or eating ice cream. So what I'm trying to say is, everything good is going to take some time. So quitting porn is going to be difficult. Of course it is. But once you quit it, once you finally stop it, you're going to feel so much better. And I've heard people say on the internet, they say less fap. So pretty much you're not on NoFap, so you're not like NoFap, no fapping, nothing whatsoever, but you're less fapping. So you're fapping less than what you fapped before. Pretty much, let's say, alright, let's be rational here. Let's say you jerk off every single day, twice a day for the last month. Because that's realistic, okay? That's realistic. You might be saying, whoa, that's quite a bit. But it's actually not when you think about it, because there are times where you actually maybe fap 4 times a day. And I understand, brother, it's difficult, okay? I get it. I was in your same shoes. I had shit fucked up depressed days where I just didn't want to do anything. I had no motivation. I had no discipline. I didn't want to go gym. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that, you know? And I completely understand where you're coming from, okay? I understand where you're coming from. That's why I'm saying that. Let's start at a baseline, all right? Twice a day for the 30 days. Let's say that's what you're fapping right now. Next month, what if you just fap 20 days? 20 days once a day. You might say, like, you know, that's still, I'm not on NoFap, I'm not quitting porn, but you're doing better than what you did last time. And you have to understand, this is a big addiction. It's, yes, if you can be strong enough and just quit it, but mostly those people who just quit it and count their day streak, then when they relapse, they fall back into it. So it goes back to the alcoholic, you know? It's like, what would you what would you think the alcoholic would do? There's 2 alcoholics, all right? One of them doesn't drink for 30 days. But on the 30th day, he has 1 drink. And he feels so shit about himself, he drinks his sorrows that rest of the night, so he's super drunk. The other alcoholic drinks, you know, maybe once a week on that month. And then the next month, he maybe drinks twice a week. I mean, sorry. Once every week and then once every fortnight. So it's like twice a month, 4 times a month. You get the point, what I'm trying to say. The second alcoholic, if he drinks a bit more, he's not going to feel like shit. Because he's doing less than what he did before. That's what I'm saying with less fap, is you're going to fap less. Preferably if it's not to porn. Preferably if it's, I don't know, images or just your brain. Because if you can imagine it, that's the best thing. All right, that's the best thing. You're gonna quit this way faster, because you have to think of it like this: when you fap less, all right, you're training your brain to stop like indulging in this, because your brain is used to watching it every single day. So if what happens is, if you quit right now, your brain is still going to be used to watching porn, and your brain's going to be telling you, we need to watch porn, we need to watch porn, we need to watch porn. It's giving you like this urge, this urge you can't just override, you know? So when we fap less, the beauty of it is that your brain starts to develop as well, and it's like, oh, okay, we're doing this less and less and less and less, probably not good for us, let's move on or something. And throughout that process, it's going to take a couple of months, maybe 4 or 5, maybe it's even going to be half a year. Maybe you're going to get to a point where you just fap once a month. Still progress. Look, if you fap once a month and you don't watch porn, don't say like, oh, but I'm not officially on NoFap. Just say you don't watch porn. Like, just, you're on a different lifestyle. Even if you say you don't masturbate, you don't masturbate. And then if you masturbate like, well, maybe once every 3 months, so what? Who gives a shit? No one cares. Is there someone going to be with a pen and paper and your security camera's like, okay, but here I can see that you fapped and here I can see you didn't fap? No. No one does that. It's literally just for you and just for your brain itself to cope, saying like, you know, because we've all had this, you know, I've had it myself where I was like, basically on No Nut November, okay? It's basically where you don't nut, you don't nut a whole November. And I was on like day 20 something, and then I like jerked off once, and I felt so shit that I jerked off every single day after that. Instead of, I could have literally just been like, oh, okay, I jerked off, let's move on. Oh, I didn't complete No Nut November. That's bullshit. We all know that. Like, it doesn't get you anywhere. This, in my opinion, is probably the easiest way to quit porn. I say easy, but it's still not easy because we still have to like do the things of quitting porn, like what I just said. But it will take time. It will take time. And I have made a full guide on how to quit porn. It is the top link in the description. We quit porn, you become more masculine, you become more disciplined. There's other people you can talk to about that as well. Now, what I want to talk about next is, it might be pretty basic to you, or you might not have heard the factor before, is just don't count and don't think about anything. Because you have people that count these days, like you have people saying, oh, I'm on day X, I'm on day X. I was talking to these two guys, they wanted to quit porn, and they're like, oh yeah, tomorrow is my day 71 of NoFap. And I'm like, well, you're counting that. So that means when you relapse, you're going to have a fapathon. You're going to jerk off so much when you relapse because your mind especially is used to, okay, it's like a streak, What happens when we're on a healthy diet and we're counting the days? That day we go to the bakery and buy a pie, we're not just going to buy a pie. We're going to be like, oh, fuck, I failed, Might get a chocolate brownie, might get a milkshake, might get this, might get that. It's the same thing with porn. So the more you detach, and if you tell your brain, oh shit, I fapped. Okay, who cares? Why did I fap? Maybe write a bit about your journal. Why did I fap? What led up to it? Maybe pull that out next time. But if you're in that mindset, okay, I fapped, I don't care, you're gonna actually succeed in this. That's what a lot of YouTubers tell you. They tell you, get on this streak, like count your No Nut November, NoFap days, post it in my community, post it on my Discord. Go right now, scroll down the comments and write down what day you're on NoFap. They just want more attention, to be honest. And if you see those people, they're not really, I'd say, helping you. But to be fair, it might have helped them. Because it's so broad that it actually genuinely might help them and they genuinely believe this is how you quit porn. But for me, it never worked. I counted my days, and each time I relapsed, I literally relapsed so much after that. Instead of me just, when I had days where I was like, I don't give a fuck, and then I relapsed and I was like, oh, okay, I relapsed. Who cares? Moving on, It's not something that holds you back, and it shouldn't. So when you don't count days, when you don't count your streaks, when you don't count anything, and then you relapse, so what? Like, if you're a NoFap, if you're just on this lifestyle, you don't watch porn, you don't masturbate, and then maybe after 2 years you jerk off once because, I don't know, you wanted to jerk off. You felt lonely, you wanted to jerk off. You're going to be like, oh, okay, cool, jerked off. That's it, moving on. You're not going to fall back into the slum of NoFap. And the thing is, no one actually cares if you relapse. Like, you have people saying, oh, if you relapse, you're going to feel these side effects. This is going to damage you. You're going to get this, you're going to get that. It's completely bullshit. Yeah, it might mess you up a little bit mentally, but if you're prepared for it, if you're prepared when this happens and you're like, oh, okay, I know what to do, I just don't think about it, you're going to move on way faster than your old self that would actually sit there, feel disgusted about himself, and cry and then relapse 20 times. So I want to say another thing is, if you can, just stop watching porn. If you can do it just to your imagination when you're less fapping, that is so good. Even just by you quitting porn and doing it to your imagination, you're better than I'd say 80%. Because porn has rewired our brains to literally make our dopamine cells fried. It's rewiring. I'm still healing from this stuff. It literally rewires your brain to just get turned on about porn, and when you have sex and everything, it's not the same. So just watch out for that. If you can, just watch something more wholesome. Don't go on Pornhub. Maybe just look at photos, or just masturbate to your imagination. Do some of that, or nude girls anyway. But if you actually think about it, porn is pretty gay. You're watching. No, tell me this right now. If your neighbors, all right, if some hot neighbors told you, a man and a woman said, "Come here," they sat you down in a chair, and in front of them was a bed, and they fucked on that bed, would you sit there and ejaculate? Would you sit there stroking your cock? If you're a man, you probably would not. If you would and sit there and ejaculate, I'd ask you that there's probably something really fucked up in your brain. But nevertheless, look, the reason I'm saying this is that's what's happening on Pornhub. You're pretty gay. You're literally watching some guy put his cock into some woman. Like, come on. You see so many dicks, and then it's like, oh, maybe I need a dick. No, but realistically, just if you can stop watching porn, if you can just move on to images, or I don't know, if some girls undressing themselves, or just your imagination, you're gonna get through this so much quicker, and you're gonna actually see progress, and you're gonna feel way, way better. I hope this, I could have helped you somehow, and I really want to see you quit this. I'm rooting for you. See ya.